I am bringing y'all Shaquille O'Neal. We were starting off with young Shaq and ending up with prime Shaq in the rec today. I got three games for y'all. I made this build a long time ago, like the very start of 2K. I made this build before I even had any cap breakers. Now I have 10. Obviously, you see some things are tweaked, just not like a perfect Shaq. He would have more post control, probably more strength. Um, I mean, he obviously wouldn't have any shooting or free throw really, but I did give him. I did want to use this build in the rec, so I had to give free throw, and especially because I finish in the paint so much, I do get fouled a lot. And then I don't ever take 3 points anyway, but the build does have a 3 point shot. Solid passing too. Um, the thing we'll be trying out today really is the 99 standing dunk. Um, I get some crazy animations and it really did dunks well. The reason I made this build, I started off with a 6'9" Kevin Durant build. It was my first build of the year, and I was using it as a power forward, as a big man, and obviously it just couldn't get rebounds. So I made a build that could. Obviously, I started off with a 94, um, but then I ended up like I was like, who could I make? Because obviously I like to make NBA player builds, and I just went up with Shaq, and I threw up a high standing dunk. I went 95 at first for the Hall of Fame rise up, and then as I got cap break, I just went to 99. But good defense too. I do have an 82 interior and 84 block, 99 rebound, of course. Solid speed, vertical. Obviously, the vertical would be higher if I would have made this later in the year. If I would have knew how much vertical really mattered. And then I have a 92 strength. Just real quick. Only Hall of Fame box talks. I didn't get the 96 strength. It would be legend, but it. I mean, it does just fine. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Gold brick wall, gold post power. So like I said, if this was a real Shaq, this would be Hall of Fame or legend. But it also does really well too. Gold post to poet, Hall of Fame, or sorry, legend rise up, legend rebound chaser. Um, Hall of Fame Arrow Wizard. I have done +1 on that. Don't ever really get lobs, and the lobs don't work well anyway because I don't have a driving dunk. You need a driving dunk to really catch him more than a standing dunk. But and then for takeover, I am not actually rocking. Like usually, I should probably rock a barbecue chicken, but I don't have it unlocked because I've always just rocked the rebounding take. So that's what I'm gonna be rocking. It's physicality, which gives me strength and both rebounding on this build. Without further ado, we'll hop into the games. Game here. Um, don't mind the drip. I was using this build before this video, and I forgot to change the drip into like the full Shaq drip. So I am rocking like under sleeves and shit like that. But first give me the footer, 97 standing dunk, almost what I have. 93 block, 92 strength. Give me a decent build to go up against here. Like I said, I did make this build at the very start of the year, so I think the way that it panned out, being as good as it was, I think I made it in maybe October-ish. It did feel like it was almost a little better even back then. Like, you'll see, I got some great games in this build, in this gameplay. But even like, I feel like when I first made the build, I was throwing up like 30 and 30 games, like every single game. That's why this build. You'll see this at the. I guess you did see at the intro. I have it in gold plate, and it's like one of my only builds that's in gold plate because of how good it is. Like how good I play in the rec. If I ever want to play in the rec, it's usually this build. The only problem it has in the rec is it just doesn't have the pass accuracy I would like, but it does. I mean, it throws passes fine anyway. But it is a really good build. Having that standing dunk is amazing, especially just because you damn near make everything off of offensive rebounds anyway. So like you get the offensive rebound, you go right back up with that standing dunk. It's like it's unstoppable. It really is. The only thing I really messed up with and could have made better with this build was making a 7 foot instead of 7'1". I went 7'1" just to get the realistic Shaq height, because I think he is actually 7'1", but for whatever reason, between those two heights, you get so much more attributes on top of it makes you like 8 to 10 speeds faster. Like that's the only reason I would have see as like a stupid fucking. I don't know how I missed that layup, but that's the one thing I would have really changed between this build. And then maybe the fact that I gave it shooting. If I wouldn't have gave it shooting, because I don't even shoot on it anyway. If I wouldn't have gave it shooting, I think I could have got a lot more attributes. Probably could have got a lot of higher post control, close shot, something. But I mean, besides that, it plays really well. Like even only that 72 vertical, like most centers have 80 plus. It leaps. And look, that's a 78 pass accuracy. That is silver break starter. It does pretty good. I like it. I'm getting a lot of layups right now, but you will see that it does get some nasty dunks. Obviously, when I made this build, I was playing with one of my buddies that I played with at the start of the year. I don't play 2K with him anymore, but he had a Kobe build. That's the reason why we really went with this. We kind of stopped at the very, very start. I started playing guards, and then I got into this build. I started playing with more bigs. I think I've always just played on bigs. I think I've said that before. And I've always just made big inside builds. That's why I think I'm also just a lot better on bigs than I am with guards. As well as to play rec with the biggest centers, especially usually ones that have higher pass accuracy, because it's just easy rep in my opinion. I feel like I had a great first half. I have 6 assists right now, 10, 10, and 6. I'm going for a triple double. Like, which on Shaq is not really a triple double type of guy, but I mean I was getting a lot of assists. Look at some Jokic type shit. Like, I'm getting a lot of layups right now. Usually this build dunks a lot more. That's just how the first game went. There it is. Well, I lied. I don't know how I missed that, but we are also killing this team. But yeah, like, this is just easy rep in my opinion. This is how I usually, like, if I ever want to just go for rep, like, I'll throw in the XP coin. I'll just go play in the rec on a big center. It's just, and it's like it's like a lot less on the brain too. You don't have to worry about dribbling and shooting so much, especially in this game where all that RNG. It's a lot more easy on the mind to just go play on our center. We have to just grab rebounds and pass and whatnot, especially because this one is a lot more fun than just one of those, like, type of builds. Because one of those, like my VIN-DAWG build, you know what I'm saying? Just because it can dunk so much more and it can finish inside, it's really fun. But look at that pass too. That was perfect. Like 78 pass accuracy. I'm telling you, man. You almost like don't need much more than that. And I know I was just talking on that VIN-DAWG bit about how much I love that 93, and I do. But man, this build is almost showing it differently. I do end up shooting 1 3. It's the only 3 I shot the entire video, and I made it too. I mean, isn't that what Shaq did? Right? He went 1 for 1 in his career, right? It was a half quarter, but I had a hell of a game there. 15, 19, and what I have, 8 assists. Great first game. I don't know how I didn't get player of the game, but I didn't. Second game, I ended up going with the exact same squad. First time I think I've ever won a game with the squad, and then they've all stayed. That was kind of insane, but I'm going against a 6'9" this game, so I should be able to get a lot more buckets inside. We will start off 2-2 here. This game, I believe, was a lot closer from what I remember. It's either this game or the next one. Now, see, that is what I usually get. That's like the typical Shaq throwing in their fucking face, nuts on their forehead and shit. Like that, yes. I don't know what was going on in the first game. I was just getting straight layups. I was playing like Kareem when I was Shaq, but I was playing like Jokic really more than I was Shaq, especially with all them damn assists. Yeah, I can't remember if this game was the one that was really close or not. In terms of 2K26, I know I was just talking about this last video too. This could be a type of a build. There's another dunk there. I make, like, at the start of 2K26. I don't know if I will. It can get very repetitive sometimes, just being an inside center. I'd imagine I'm gonna make it big over a guard. I don't know. It's all going to depend on the builder and gameplay. I'm going to have to really test the gameplay out a lot more at the start of next year, because at the start of this year I didn't. Obviously, I made that 6'9" Kevin Durant build, and it ended up being terrible because I was a big man that really couldn't rebound, and it just did not pan out well. Because at 24, I made a bunch of big men with like 83 to 85 rebound, and it just horsed, but not in this game. As you can see, there was free throws coming in clutch there. Me putting that free throw up was nice. I hit like every one of my free throws. Is that Shaq? No, but you need it for the rec. Yeah, player of the half here. I didn't get that last game. I don't think I got player of the half. I had 12, 2 and 9. Pretty solid start. I'm on pace for what, 24, 4 and 18. Dominating. I'm not gonna lie, having the hair and not being as big as possible looks really weird on Shaq. It doesn't really look like Shaq, even though this is a Shaq face scan. I even want to say I looked up the young Shaq face scan. I don't remember though. There's my 10th rebound and double. This build of horses, man. It does. I almost don't know if it's better to have a 6'9" like my Ben Wallace with the was I missing 2 layups there? Of course, with the highest vertical possible, because having that 90 vertical on the Ben Wallace is insane. Or if it's better to have just a tall build with a long wingspan, because I horse in this build too. I don't know I think this build's definitely better 5s, and that build's probably better on 3s, but yeah, I hope next year that's just not the meta, man. I hope next year we go back to ISOing and stuff. The only things I know so far, that we've seen so far, is that, well, Spike Lee is directing the game, so the micro story should be pretty good again. I'm probably gonna start off and do that was a nasty dunk, but start off and do a series of that. So if y'all want to see that, definitely stay tuned, because I definitely miss having a good My Career storyline. I won't lie. I'm a sucker for story games for sure, and good stories. I haven't played a lot recently, but I've played a lot of good story games in my life, and I would love if they had a good basketball, and they just haven't had one in so long. We'll see. Obviously they're gonna keep pro play in here. I wasn't even talking about that end of the game, but I had a nasty game there. 16, 18, and 4. And I got player of the game. Nasty game. Now, after this game, I was like, fuck it, I gotta go change this shit. I don't like the way it's looking. I want to go to old Shaq. And that's exactly what I did. So all I did was end up changing the hair, just going bald, and then I made him bigger. And yeah, that looks a lot better. As you can see, I think it's some pretty good teammates again. Not as good as the last ones I had, but they all ended up leaving after the second one, which is what I thought was going to happen to the first one. Now I have a 9-9 rebound, 7-footer, pretty typical. For whatever reason, when I made this build bigger, it almost looked like it ran better. Now, it does look like he runs when he like makes craters on the floor when he runs, but yeah, I was almost feeling a little faster. Now that first, literally, I got a dunk 10 seconds into the game, and then I made him quit. He quit, literally instantly. So I was playing against the AI for the rest of this game, but I got so many more buckets. I don't know what that dude was doing. I had 4 buckets within 30 seconds. Or 4 points, I should say. And here's another one, wide. There it is. King. One more build. I would like y'all to recommend one maybe I could make. I don't quite know what I want to do. There's a lot of things I have not. That was a Shaq dunk if I ever seen that. Shit was disgusting. But there's a lot of things I haven't tried out this year. I usually do like a 99 attribute, or I guess I have like this year with like everything. Besides like layup, I haven't. The highest thing I have is KD on 96. Mid range, I haven't. What else have I not? Ball handle. I have not made a lock this year either. I have Jordan's my closest. So there's a couple like things I'm thinking. I'm just making one of it because it is July 16th. As I'm making this video right now, we are halfway through July. We literally have 44 days left of 2K, so I'm not gonna like go crazy, but I'm thinking about making one more build. I'm also thinking about starting up a new game until 26 too, which I probably will do both, honestly. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there, if I'm gonna do that, if I'm not. I thought about doing a my career run, but I just figured it's so late into the game, no one else to see that, and plus the my career storyline this year is just so bad. So I didn't want to, but I do also still have 2 builds to show y'all. I did have 3. This is one of them. Like I said, I love playing. I did get player of the half again. I got 16, 14, 1-1-1. Very solid game. Like I said, I was getting in the paint a lot more this game. I do love playing in the rec just because it's so on big center. It's so like just easy. All I have to do is really just score in the paint and grab rebounds. It's not that hard. So that's why I brought this. But one of the other builds I have is a footer. I just make a lot of. I usually try to every year to at least make one like rec worthy build. This year I have a couple, but I got back-to-back free throws here, and I was making every one of them. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite rec builds, and the fact that I made it so early in the year and it stayed this good, because every other build I made at the start of the year, I think I don't use anymore. I end up deleting it for a different build or something. But this build stayed, even though I don't have Kobe anymore to run with. But this was the game. I don't know if last game was very close. I don't remember, but this was the game that, as you can see, I got I don't even know how that little dude just put Shaq on the ground like that. 400 pounds. I probably made a boulder there, but this was a game that ended up going very close back and forth, like 48 to 49. If I had my other team, we probably would have been blowing this team out. They were not that good, but for whatever reason, my team was just taking dumb shots and couldn't make anything, and I was kind of carrying. I had 22 or 52 points now, as well as 20 rebounds. And what, I don't know what happened there. I don't think I tried to do that. I don't remember trying to. Shaq just tried to be Kyrie for some reason, and he missed the entire hoop while trying to do that. I don't know what happened there. 24 points here. A minute left in the fourth. We were down 3, and then yeah, my team just started selling at the very end. I had 24, 21, 2, 1, and 1. A hell of a game to send it up to, and of course we lost. But that's usually how it goes. Will be all for the video today. As you'll see, I started off with the young Shaq and went to the older Shaq. Older Shaq obviously played more realistically, which is kind of, I don't know, crazy how that worked out. I ended up having a lot more points on that one. Whereas the young Shaq, I ended up having a lot of assists, at least the first game. As you'll see, the build does finish inside crazy. Sometimes I do get stupid animations of it. It finishes inside really well. And I don't even have a high close shot or a posting shot. It's really just a standing dunk. Still have a couple builds to come out. I'm still thinking on maybe making a different one, a new one. My last one before 26 comes out. 26 has 44 days, I think, now before it comes out, so really soon. If you guys have any recommendations or suggestions, type them down below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.